The gardener who fought a war, inspired by the life of Nicholas Winton, an Englishman who quietly saved 669 children. In the quiet town of Maidenhead, England, there lived an old man named Nicholas. He wore tweed coats, grew roses in his garden, and never spoke much about his past. Neighbors saw him as kind, gentle, a retired banker who liked tea and kept to himself. But what they didn't know was that Nicholas had once fought a war, not with weapons, with paper, with ink, with train tickets. It began in 1938 on the eve of World War II. Nicholas was just 29 when he traveled to Prague, Czechoslovakia for a holiday. But what he found there shattered him. Thousands of Jewish families living in fear, desperately trying to flee as Nazi Germany loomed over Europe. Most countries, including Britain, were turning refugees away. No visas, no space, no action. But Nicholas refused to walk away. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a politician. He wasn't even in government. He was just a young stockbroker with a heart that couldn't sit still. So he created a plan. From a hotel room in Prague, he began organizing what would later be called the Czech Kindertransport, a mission to rescue Jewish children before the Nazis arrived. He wrote letters to foreign embassies. He forged documents. He bribed train companies. He begged British families to take the children in, all with one goal: get them out before it's too late. Over the next 9 months, Nicholas Winton rescued 669 children, placing each on trains out of Prague and into the arms of foster families in England, often the only survivors of their families. And then, after the war, he said nothing. He went home, got married, worked at a bank, planted vegetables, kept his secret. It wasn't until 1988, 50 years later, that his wife discovered an old scrapbook in their attic. Inside were names, documents, photos of every child he saved. She contacted a TV show, and without warning, Nicholas was invited to a BBC program where he was seated in an audience full of people. The host asked, "Is anyone here today because of Nicholas Winton?" Dozens stood up. They were the children, now grown, with children of their own. Nicholas sat in silence, eyes full of tears, the first time he realized what his quiet courage had built. Generations of life. He was later knighted by the Queen, but his most powerful title was always the man who saved children and never asked for applause. Life lesson. You don't need to be famous to do something unforgettable. You just need to care enough to act. In a world full of fear and silence, be someone who moves quietly but saves loudly.